Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the November 23rd, 2020 meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Will everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is public comment. Okay, not having any. The next item on the agenda will be Kevin Towns.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey. Yeah, we're doing some logging up on my grandmother's property on North Sugar Hill. I'm looking to widen the gapway to get the equipment in and out. And
How much you looking at?
I gain about 4 or 5 feet.
And it's what, 12 and a half now, I saw?
Yeah, probably like that, yeah.
And when you get done, you'll put the rocks back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You already saw the pictures of it. I've already been by it.
You need a motion?
Yeah.
You got the lot number?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Move to allow Kevin Towns to remove up to 10 feet of stone wall to access property, his grandmother's property, for purposes of logging the property, with the caveat to put it back when he has completed his project.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye.
Abstain? Okay.
So it's 3-2. 3-2-0.
2-0.
3-2.
3.
302.
3-02.
Yeah. 3-0.
You're all set no matter
Okay,
what.
Kevin.
We're just trying to figure out how to count again, that's all.
Okay.
Don't worry about us.
It's Monday, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Perfect.
But yeah, just put it back when you're done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
hey, Kevin.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Department head of committee items. Do you have anything, Benji, before you start with your
Yeah, couple
presentation?
things.
Okay.
That's all right. The first thing is last time I was here for the trash hauling contract, everything was fine except when we made the motion and okayed it, we just had our own date, and I didn't really think about it till I left, and I'm like, oh, I think we made a mistake. So I believe, because we went back and looked, I believe the motion was to go from January 1 of 21 to December 31 of 23, I think.
Yeah.
And it should be December 31 of 22, just to make what the thing says, so. If you guys could just redo that, just so it's, goes with the contract, it's just a formality, and
So moved.
I didn't even look till like Thursday, I'm like,
Okay. Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there you go.
very good, thank you.
Fixed.
Next, yeah.
Very good.
Quick, simple, easy.
Oh yeah, I did have it, because Karen was so kind to print off the minutes for me, so it was on my next page. The next thing was my crew all cornered me this week and asked if I would talk to you guys about our hours. As we do now, we work 8-hour days, somewheres near the very end of November to the very 1st of April. And work 10-hour days from the 1st April to the end of November. Usually the Friday after Thanksgiving, we go back to 8-hour days. So the following Monday. So I think this year would be like the 4th would be the first, either Monday or 8-hour day. They asked if I'd approach you guys about just staying on our current schedule. I don't think we would cost the town any services. So it'll be 40 hours of service. We're still on call. I'm still on call 365 days a year. It just would, everybody has their schedules and everybody seems to like this, so they just asked if I would ask. I said, I'll ask. We've been here before, but, I see benefits in it. The guys with small children there, they can help out on that one day off if we're not plowing. 40 hours is 40 hours no matter what it is. Our overtime is after 40 hours, not after 8 or 10. The building's open 4 days. I mean, hopefully next year this won't be an excuse, but whole COVID thing gives it 3 days off, and you know, there's been years that we've worked 7, 1 year 11 partial or all weekends. It's like that movie the Groundhog Day. Every time you wake up, it's the same thing. Well, you get to go to the town of Ware again. So if you work a Saturday into a Sunday morning, you'll get at least 1 day off, you know. Only thing I know that I'm gonna hear is, well, if it snows on Monday, but what if it snows on Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Christmas, Thanksgiving? If
You
it
got
snows,
enough, you have
there's
enough
one
room in your
month.
budget to cover the
Yeah.
extra potential overtime?
Yeah, we're usually good on our overtime. You know, there's one Monday every week, and there's 4 days that we're gonna be working longer every week. So if it snows on during the day on them other 4 days, it'd be 2 extra hours a day, don't pay overtime. So it about washes out. Anyway, I said I will ask. When I got hired, they asked me that question. I says, you know my answer. I'm not going to argue about it right now, and I'm not standing here arguing with you now. But I had the entire crew ask me. You know, before we had a couple guys didn't like it either. But I said I do like them, and if I have everybody behind me that
So you're proposing to work what days?
Tuesday through Friday like we do. So the transfer station, the whole facility's closed on Monday. The only other thing that we just figured out was we have to okay overweight permits or oversized permits. I don't know if it's necessarily weight, but usually have to task Naomi with that on Mondays. We just realized that it's very easy to have Joe log in on his laptop at home, and he wouldn't charge you guys for the 10 minutes every Monday morning it takes him to do it. So.
I'm here on Mondays anyway.
Right, so I feel bad about making her do that. It's supposed to be my job. She's always
Only
good
feel
about it.
bad when you call me at home.
Well, I do that sometimes too.
I can access it from there too.
So,
Rick, what do you think?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I guess the only question I would have is just with the days are so short with the
Right.
light out there. So, I mean, like I said, I definitely understand the benefits of the, family times and childcare and, the 410s, absolutely. I mean, my question would be on those 4 10-hour days, are we gonna get a full effective
sure.
10 hours?
So, because that was a question from long past, and the only time is close is the last couple of weeks before this time changes. Whether we leave daylight savings time or start at whatever time we're on now.
Yeah.
And then it's daylight in the morning, start at 6:30. So it's daylight at 6 and exactly, less than 1 month now, 2 days short of 1 month, the days go the other way. So it's just about dark at about 4:40, 4:45, and it's plenty light at 6:30. So.
That'd be my only question, was that.
And if we do road work, don't do a ton of road work in the winter, but if you do it, you get out there, it takes the same exact amount of time a day, no matter what your hours are, to warm up trucks, set up signs. So once you go into work, you're there a little longer, so.
Sherry?
I don't have a problem with it.
John? What?
I would say
You're all set
maybe-
with it?
Yeah.
John?
I have no problem with it.
Okay. Make a motion that we allow the highway department to continue on their 4 10-hour days.
Thank you.
Second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys.
There you
Appreciate
have
it.
it.
That is it for department head committee items, unless I didn't write one down, I forgot.
Well,
Unless I had 2 other little tiny things. I haven't really ever give you guys an update. We have paved with that road bond. We have overlaid 40 roads, all of which are all lengths, anywhere from a few hundred feet to Reservoir and River Road. We've paved several miles. We chip coated half a dozen more, and we completely reconstructed out of the road reconstruction partial or all of 8 roads. We've done that in 2 years. So I want to thank my guys, my crew. That's pretty exceptional amount of work, I think. And I don't feel that we have cost the taxpayers any services while we were doing that. We still did our road grading, we still did our pothole patching. I think we did all that and continued our committed service that we promised. So it took a lot of dedication from the guys. I didn't have, complaining about the late nights. And we worked 1 or 2 Mondays because, take us today or we're not coming till next week, so we'll take you, you know, type of deal. So that was really great. I had a new hire, potential, a wicked good one. He, a whole farmer from town, drove truck his whole life, and I got stolen from me by the state because I couldn't offer him benefits, so that was disheartening. I thought I was going to have him here with you guys tonight to hire him, so still looking to hire that spot to fill that hole that I have. So.
Part-time, right?
Full-time, no bennies, to fill the
temporary.
person that's
Temporary.
out.
Oh,
So he was looking for benefits, and I thought I had him, but I didn't. So with that said, I get the budget.
Okay, so I guess
How many of you need it up there?
continue on with the budget then.
Were you gonna talk about the gate?
Well, it's up to you. I don't know if we'll get anywhere tonight. We can real quick, yeah.
Thank you.
I was gonna, I think probably it's for next year.
I already have one.
Wondering if we could discuss maybe getting some money to put in a new gate at the highway garage sometime. Kind of like a electronic style. Everybody could have some sort of, I don't really know how they work. You know, like in a toll booth, or they,
Like a key fob or something like
yeah,
that?
a key fob type of thing. The one we got is unfriendly to use, and we have all departments going down there all hours. I think it's the same lock that we have had for, not the particular lock, but same cut we've had for 30 years. So probably nearly everybody in the town of Ware has a key for it anyway. But, sometime maybe if we can look.
you
I
can
don't know if
figure
it'd
out
be
the-
something out of highway or
Figure out the prices
where all
on that.
departments chip in, but think it'd be something worth looking for, you know.
be feasible.
I'm sure fire and police would appreciate something a little easier than sliding that greasy old slide aside, you know,
When it
It's
slides.
a good time,
when it slides, so.
when the frost doesn't push the post around.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, if you want, I'll bail into the budget. You don't, we don't need to go over anything on the payroll rates. We're gonna start at 410 underneath the black line. Is that good with everyone?
Yep,
Yeah.
Works for me.
And just kind of go with things that changed a little bit. Is that good with everybody? You want to go line by line?
so with the changes.
Oh, okay. Get a line so I can line up so I know I'm doing it right here. So if you go to 413, advertising, just proposing to raise it $40 to cover the ads that we have to do, you know, crushing, paving, things like that. Inspection equipment,
Going back up to 415,
415, okay.
why the $600 increase for oxygen or cylinders?
Oh, whoops, I didn't see that, yep. Because historically, we've been going over, on that quite a little, so I'm trying to just make it a realistic number. We go over every single year, so, let's see, what have we spent? We spent 21 this year. We are not quite there yet this year. We're not in our fabricating season yet neither. We haven't broke any wings off trucks, so that's the reason. We've gone over. Last year we spent 2835 out of the 24, so that's why.
Okay.
And I don't have past beyond that, but I know we've been going over every year. We do a lot of cutting and welding in that place in the wintertime. 420 inspection machine, that's just, that's the cost of it. Beth looked up the bills and we added them together, and that's what it costs to run it says inspection machine, but it's also the internet. It takes internet to it too, so it's just kind of all rolled into that line, you know what I mean? Because we have a Gordon Darby bill that we pay with it and stuff, you know.
One more for the state to get you.
Right, exactly. 'Cause we got that hooked back up this year. We hadn't had it for a little while, but it kind of was a gray area with certain vehicles, and it was a pain in the butt. You guys decided the fuel prices.
What's this 900 unleaded for John Stark?
They fuel up down there.
Okay.
And then
But
they-
that.
We get it back.
Then
like I
they
said,
reimburse.
Okay, back to
Okay.
them.
It's in the revenue side.
I buy the fuel and everybody pays us back.
Gotcha.
We do a fuel report every month, and Beth breaks it down and then charges the
Okay.
police, fire, John Stark, transfer station. Go down to fuel additives and testing. I asked to increase that, because again, we always go over it, and there's a lot of stuff that rolls into that. It is exactly what it says, but, so testing is mandated by the state. We have, and every year they got different tests you gotta do. Last year was a biggie. It was every 3 years they come do a big one. And you have to hire a licensed company to be down there with you. I use MB Maintenance, but, you have no choice. And then the additives is originally just what we put in the diesel fuel. Originally the 911 or what have you, the power serve. Then we went to a better bulk treatment so that you don't have contaminations in the tank and stuff. But now we got Blue Death, and it's technically a fuel additive, so I put it in that line. And the more equipment we get with it, the more we're gonna burn it, so.
How are you purchasing that?
We were buying it by the gallon, but we used enough, getting it, by the drum from McDevitt, using a drum, every couple months, month. In the wintertime, we go right through it. We got a few gallon jugs we have too, so someone else take one out on the road, like when we were screening down in the pit and stuff.
Isn't the shelf life of DEF pretty low? Like a couple months, 3 months, 4 months?
I don't know, we don't keep it 4 months, so.
Okay. Even during the summer?
No,
Okay.
no. No, because in the wintertime, our trucks run more.
Yep.
They burn a little less, but they run more, so we burn it right up then. Then in the summer, the equipment runs, and like that grader and loader slurps it right up, so. I don't know why heavy equipment burns it more, but it does, so. You're on the throttle more, I guess.
Just be cognizant of the pumps.
Yeah,
Buy the best pump you can find.
yeah,
They like to disintegrate.
yeah, do they?
And then they cause issues, the filters plug up, it's not funny.
I got a little, yeah, they're plastic pumps, I guess, for a reason, so.
Right, and it's corrosive.
Right, it is. It's a terrible thing to have.
It is.
Nice to have a new truck and spill it down the side of your new paint, too. So. Where'd we go? We were at fuel, so you're gonna go tires and chains. We didn't change. I hadn't spent a ton by the time we did this sheet, but I am. This is tire buying season. I purchased a bunch. I've sent a bunch out for caps right now. They're down there, so. Them are kind of something we buy a lot. You don't buy one tire at a time for a 10-wheeler, so. I like to put them on. Not a big fan of the summer, winter, putting them on, off, on, off, and on, off. Seem to have more trouble with wheels loosening up then. I like to give them new tires now, just before snow. Time they run them all winter, they're half used. Run them all the way out, and in the summer hauling gravel, and then I send them out to be capped if they can be capped, and I start with new tires again. Seem to have better luck that way. Oils and lubricants. Did a 5-year average. We're always way, way, way over. Last year we spent $17,000. Just proposing to raise it $2,000, so a little closer. I mean, these numbers should be somewhat, accurate, or what's the point? So I just knew that raising it $7,000 probably was a little much for this year. But we've already spent $9,300, and I haven't come into hydraulic season yet. So line 429. This line we're doing away with. There's going to be another line here, probably the next one. No, it's not yet. So we're moving it to a new line. paint stripers. We didn't spend any this year. The reason being is it's cheaper to buy paint by the pallet. I don't use a pallet full every year. I bought a pallet year before. I need paint again this coming year, so. And what I had, the 500 don't cover it, cause pallet's more than that, so. We come up with what the pallet costs, so. There's the new line, 431A, we're calling it, highway guardrails. So that's just a hopeful number that we can get in there to do some guardrail maintenance every year. We hadn't done any in 2 years, and we spent 31 grand this year on guardrails. I pulled out road reconstruction, so we've always had a guardrail line. So assuming the selectmen always wanted that in the budget, but it was never work. You can't get guardrail company to come town for $1,200, so
No.
we've always just spent it out of the road reconstruction. So if we're gonna have guardrails in the line, we gotta have enough to do work with, or we'll just take it out of road reconstruction and never mind that line, because it's an unrealistic line. We talked a lot about that, actually, which way we should go, and we said, well, we'll throw that out there and see what you guys think, because it's always been in there, so that must have been the feeling before, you know. And it's a maintenance thing, this is what the budget's for, is for maintenance, right? So,
Guardrails in town are pretty sad shape.
they are, I did $31,000, you can't even notice. I just replaced the broken cable ones. Finally, I got rid of all my cable that I can know of. And the next weekend, someone wipes out a piece on the river road, so.
Can we not go after the vehicles that have an
Yeah,
accident?
if you find them,
Only if we know about them.
yeah,
Well, like that one at the bottom of the police station access road.
we get them sometimes.
We get them
A
sometimes.
lot of,
I think
a lot
that-
of things get hit at night.
Is that a state one or is that ours?
We're summer maintenance.
On Center Road?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think
we
they're
do
the ones
winter.
that put that one.
Oh, you were? They do summer.
Yeah.
Some might
They
be
do
state.
summer because we don't want the bridge.
That's right.
And they do they did the guardrail there.
We got a lot of wooden posts, steel rails, wooden posts in town, and they're junk, so. Jumping down to building maintenance, we just added we added a couple things, but we raised it $1,000 because we have JP Pest Services, that's most of it. Try to keep some of the furry critters out of there. They'd quit feeding my cats at the transfer station, maybe they'd catch some mice. If no questions on that page, we'll turn the page number 2. Top lines gravel road maintenance, this has always been a topic because it's always a big number. It's a new line in the budget, but we've never had enough to do anything. Last year, I believe I proposed putting gravel crushing in here too, I can't remember, but this year I decided not to, leave the gravel crushing in road reconstruction so that those folks get some benefit out of that. The calcium chloride is what we put for, everyone refers to as dust control. I like to refer it to as soil stabilization, so you don't have the road rut up or chatter up. And when you see all that dust flying through the air, that's the fines that hold my rocks together, so. It's a maintenance item. That number, 500 ton per 24 tons, that's what comes on one trailer load of calcium. That's how you get the best deal of it. So, it has ranged anywhere from 454 a ton to 550 a ton. So, 438 highway coal patch. I cut in half for this year. I expect I cut that in half again next year. I want to see. We have spent as much as we have because we didn't pave River Road, I don't believe, till the 1st October, so we've been patching it all summer. But that was our last biggie, you know, Twin Bridge, River Road, Reservoir Drive. We put tons and tons and tons of patch on. We finally paved all them. So we still have other roads that take it, though. They're not all done, but we sure did do a lot, and I would expect to be able to cut that again next year. 439, I decreased that budget. That is highway vehicle equipment maintenance. I decreased that by 5,000. You know, the newer equipment certainly is helping. We haven't sent near as much out this year to be worked on. Jay's pretty good with the electronic stuff. We've sent much fewer stuff to say McDivitt and TMS and stuff. And I expect to decrease that in the future too. More. It's decreased this year. I expect to decrease it more. Salt and sand's the same. Again, I'd like to remind everyone that salt and sand really means salt. Someday we're gonna have to buy sand, so that number will go up eventually. I just like to remind everybody that every year. We did screen sand this year. I did rent some equipment to re-screen sand. I figured I had about $1.87 between the excavator and the screener per yard, not counting my help and fuel, which you'd have no matter how you screen sand. $7.50 a yard picked up, so. Thought it was pretty good. 440A is a new line, and I'll touch on this real quick. Highway Weather Services. I was approached, not for the first time, I was approached before here and once in Deering and declined. This year I bid onto it for a trial. It's Precision Weather Forecasting Incorporated. It's owned by Bill Guile. Some of you might know who he was. He was a meteorologist for Channel 9. He owns this company. He has for some time. Lots of municipalities use him or use this. And what it is it's a professional forecasting service detailed to your town. And they have equipment that names was over my head, but that it's however they look at the weather, it's lower than radar. Radar is up above us and miss those little blurps sometime, you know. So 9 times out of 10, a nor'easter comes, going to get a foot of snow. It doesn't matter. You're going to get a foot of snow. That's fine. It's that one time when that storm loops back around, Channel 9 and 47, everybody else say that it's out of here, and you get a dust and a snow after you've made your final salt run. It's about $5,000 every time I put salt out each time. And the package that I would like to get, I got a free trial until December 31st. Unless there's no snowstorms, and then a free trial until there's a couple snowstorms, so we can really see. But if I decide I do like it, I actually think I'm gonna. We've got a little taste of it. The package is only $1,695 for the entire year. It's an annual upfront cost. There's no contract, multi-year contract or anything. You don't like it, you don't pay for it next year. You get to talk to an actual meteorologist. They call you before the storm. They're 24 hours. I did call them that day that was supposed to get ice. I called them up and said, what do you think? And I dialed the number, the second ring, the meteorologist on call picked up. It wasn't an answering service, and talked to him for about 10 minutes. And
Is this something only highway can call, or can PD and fire call?
so that's a good question. I talked to Bob because he's the emergency management director, and just got to talk to him. Joe talked to him Friday, and I saw him this morning. He's interested. So to back up just a hair, if it's a day we're not getting storms, every single day I get 2 emails. I get one at 3:01 a.m., so it's on my computer when I get there, and I get one at, I think it's noontime, every day of what it's going to be from then until the next time.
Mm-hmm.
And then a daily forecast and a 5-day forecast. On a weather event, they update you regular. You get email after email on what the storm's doing every hour or two if it anytime a change comes through. And you can have as many emails as you want. So me and Joe each get the email, and I asked Bob if he was interested in getting it. I see the police chief, I will ask him. Bob said he was, because the package that I'd like to get would give you the whole year. So if a flooding event was coming or something, Bob might get that, might be helpful for him. Or a bad electrical storm, it shows it has an index, all different symbols, but say an X for every lightning strike, and the most recent lightning strike has a red circle around it, and as the storm moves, the circle fades, and you can see exactly what struck out here, And a lot of the time, like I said, it would just be knowledge, it wouldn't be necessary, but if it worked once, for me in the winter, it got paid for twice. If it worked once. So all the other nifty stuff they give you would be a benefit, just be a bonus. At the end of every storm, they give you a storm total, and at the end of the year, they give you a yearly total, which would be neat to come tell you guys or finance or whatever. So If I like it, I'm gonna probably go ahead and get it, and, that line that we were just going back to it, 440A, would be the line to cover it.
Now, would that also, where it's year-round, would that also, do you think that would assist you anyway in planning your road reconstruction activities?
Yeah, if the forecast is better than what TV is, sure, yeah,
Just thinking if you're scheduling your pavers, or you're gonna do some
Right.
serious dirt work, or,
right. Yeah, I mean, I would think that it would be helpful.
More helpful than Channel 9 or National
Well, I
Weather
don't wanna be
Service.
mean to anybody else.
Well, I mean, no, it's a legitimate question because now you're
Well, you've
asking.
had, so my biggest thing, for those that, I take granted, I guess everybody thinks like I do in the winter, and probably a good thing nobody does, but, 'cause I lay awake a lot. But, like I said, if there's a big snowstorm coming, it doesn't matter, you're gonna plow snow. It's when that little scuzz comes around, that squall that we like to call it, and it drops a quick inch, and you've already put your salt out and fueled up trucks, and it's like, oh, just put that out for nothing. That happens once, twice a year. It's not on the radar. Everybody says it's over, except you could see a spot snow shower here or there. Well, here or there, where's that? You know, and if this place tells you, well, here's gonna be and where, so hold off on your salt. That's where I'm really counting on this to work, and they claim that it does, so. Thankfully, we haven't had any bad weather too bad of weather, you know.
I am
That-
skeptical about it, but I'm going to it open-minded.
It's not an app, and it's nothing like that.
It's a service.
It's an actual
It's an actual
service.
service.
I'm just thinking how, this town has
3 different weather zones?
Yeah, I know, and
yeah.
I told them that. They said, boy, you do have a large geographical area. I says, yes, we do. So,
And
that's what
south
the
is a lot
trial's
different than
for.
north and versus elevation and not.
That's
So-
what the trial's for, and I'm, you know, like I said, the good thing, it's not a contract, it's not a 5-year contract.
Yep.
1 year, it sucks, and we just won't do it again.
I've seen it at one of the other towns had it, and they have some of the same geographical
Yeah,
setbacks that we do.
there are
You
some
got
they
a higher
rattled off. I
terrain at
didn't
one
write
end of
them down.
town, and you can go up there and it's snowing to beat the bay, and you come down the center of town, there's nothing.
And I told them
And
that, and they
that,
said,
that
well,
thing tells them
right.
exactly where it's coming. And
Closest town using it to us?
Didn't write them down when I did the webinar. They're
Okay.
throwing so much stuff at me, I didn't write that part down.
Okay,
Thought they, I don't wanna say a town that I'm wrong.
okay, that's fine, I'm good.
So, that is 440A. And that was really my biggest spiel on the whole budget, so the rest will be easy. Where were we? Oh, 442. We decreased by $11,999. It's a $12,000 line. The reason I left $1 in there was to leave the line open in case A, something ever happened to the tractor, B, we, like, for instance, in previous years, we hired Bill Tiffany to cut bamboo with a sickle bar, something like that. Just to leave the line open, but I decreased that by the amount because we own our own line tractor. Highway uniforms, went down a little bit. That's the contract, and then, we've been getting coats and t-shirts elsewhere at a little bit better deal. Highway cell phone, I guess, went down a little, that just what the bill is. And I would like to stay with the knotweed control. We got into this, believe it or not, 2 days later, I got a phone call from the state saying, you gotta do something about your knotweed. This was in the beginning. I said, just so happens, I am. So they're tickled pink. You have to deal with this stuff. And we chose, years ago, I threatened to spray this stuff ourselves. I used to be a licensed applicator out west, and I said, boy, I'm gonna check into this more, because I bet permitting's not fun, and it's not. So we contracted a service. They've done a good job. I asked, he has a map, he will update the map kind of color coordinate it with us. So on and so forth. $7,230 was his quote to spray twice this coming year.
Did he spray the
Yep.
second time this
Yep.
fall?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see
Fall
that.
application seemed to work a little better, so you probably won't see the benefits of that till next year. What he did last fall, because we did the last contract, we did a 3 spray in a fall, spring, fall. The first fall, he put a hurt on it, and you saw that the next spring. And it's for one, you've got to, and for two, it was bad in this town, so. And I see it popping up new places. You know, I happen to notice it on a couple other roads that wasn't on our map, so I think it's just a pest that we're gonna have to deal with. Hopefully that goes down. Hopefully eventually we get a handle on it, but it's in everybody's backyard. Until people quit mowing it and start spraying it themselves, we're just gonna spread it. But the town will be doing their diligence anyway, because if we have it and it spreads on the other property, then it's our problem. Could be.
Yeah, I think I've got some on my front bank from Perkins Pond.
Yeah, is it your neighbor? I'll talk to him. Anyway, that's it for highway. Does anybody have any questions? All right,
I have one.
sure.
Tom?
Did you say that each time you send out the salt, it's $5,000?
Real roughly for salt. Yeah, nothing else. I did, real quick math on it. We use a little over 100 tons every time we go around, so and it's $50 a ton, so.
If that weather service saved you
One time.
would
We pay for it twice, right, yeah, more than twice, right. So. And I'm only figuring salt, not figuring the cost of sand and wages and fuel. I didn't get all that detailed, but salt's $49.50 a ton, and if you use 100 tons. Street lighting that's just the number we got, so nothing to do with me really. Go to transfer station, go down below the black line. The first line before that's changed before 64 is transfer station building maintenance. You know, transfer station's one of them places that needs everything, and it's kind of, you look at it and just, where do you start? So we don't ever end up doing nothing. We are gonna spend $1,000 and then some this year. We're getting new doors for Matt, 2 new doors, and we're gonna buy them, and I have a couple of guys that are handy, they'll install them. But we decided we need to start doing some things. So we put over in the notes doors and bathroom. You just want to start working towards it. I mean, we're going to get a whole brand new bathroom, but that's just an idea. We may do something different. We need to start plucking away at that building. We need to not forget that we got to do something with a recycling facility some days. Just keep on your guys' radar. It's not this year, but that place always gets forgot about, and every time I spend money up there, it's, oh my gosh, what are you doing? In case anybody doesn't know, that's the one thing by state law you have to do, is dispose of trash, so we gotta give them guys something that they can work with.
Benji, can we go back to line 453?
For what?
453?
453, wages?
Yep.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, right, I should have talked about that. So I'm proposing to add another 82 hours to the part-time wage line, and to cover vacation, 156 hours to cover nights. That would be an increase of $2,943. That is just for exactly what it says. It would be, would cover the vacation that they have on the books now. Because this year, as busy as we were, it was very hard to send Matt someone. I had to rely on my part-timers. Right now, I'm able to send him people, but that's for summertime vacation. And then the 156 hours to cover nights is if we are anticipating going back on the night shift there that we tried out. You know, I like to, everybody has their own idea of efficiency, And my opinion of efficiency is, the best bang for the buck. What are you getting out of what you're paying for? And you have 2 full-time employees up there running almost a 40-hour transfer station, 36-hour transfer station to serve 10,000 people. And we only have, under $20,000 in part-time help. Transfer stations that have 2,000 people that have $90,000 of part-time help. So I think we have a very efficient transfer station. The public's very good. They throw the things where they need to go, but need to give them guys, start increasing a little bit. There's been 2 people up there for, John knows better than me. I've been here 20 years, there's 2 people there.
Way too long.
So, and we're fortunate to get part-time, but we need to keep increasing that. And the nighttime thing was a big thing because you guys didn't want them up there by themselves, neither did I. Well, you gotta give them somebody, and, unless I gotta pay one of my guys overtime, it's overtime or part-time, so.
What are you planning for opening and closing days in 2021?
Somewhere's in May, and I think we went back September, October this year. So, probably late May if I had to guess. The weather gets a little bit nicer. We don't have dates nailed down, but that was the time range I was talking with about Matt.
I mean, that little report that Matt kicked out showed
Yeah.
that there was quite a bit of use that one night.
It did work good. He was okay with it. I did ask, I hoping that he'd give me a different answer. I asked him if Saturdays was any less busy. He said no, most people went Saturday too. But I guess it made Facebook a little happier. And no, we got a good turnout. I'm not objective to it if we can do it. So I'm glad you went back to that because I did mean to explain that. All right. Training, we added $100 too. We're getting a few more people that have their solid waste license, and you gotta have a class every year to keep it. The next few are contractual, but we'll touch on it really quick. Obviously, trash hauling, you guys just okayed that, so we know that's because it's contract. Recyclable disposal, that is, go down and see if we got rid of it. That was the loose paper disposal we renamed. I called in RA and asked them some questions because the next thing now we're having a hard time getting rid of is plastic. So it could be a 0 to like a 2 cent a pound charge for it. Still cheaper than trashing it at the moment, but so we just changed that from paper disposal to recyclable disposal so that it's honest and covers. We got to pay for more than just paper. We're hoping not. Paper is getting less expensive to get rid of, so that's a good thing, I guess. And I've said 1,000 times, that plastic follows the price of petroleum, and I don't want to pay high gas prices just so I can get rid of a milk jug for more money. But that's why plastic is lousy, is because petroleum's low right now. I'm sure it'll change in the future. Metal hauling, Sizemore contract. Miss anything? Loose paper hauling, Sizemore contract. Shop supplies.
Going back to one, Benji,
Sure.
472, we lift Breda, where the tipping fees go up.
Oh, I knew that was coming up. I didn't see it. I must have missed it. So Wheelabretta goes up every year a little bit, and what one was it? 72?
472, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And that is so they can't give you the real number till December. And I called and asked, it went up 1.9% last year. So, at 2%, if before the budget's finalized, they give me an actual number, I'll tell Beth.
Okay.
We'll fix it. Wait time, 478, Sizemore contract. Diesel fuel, you guys figured the price. Uniforms, contract. Brush chipping, it's a new topic. Someday we're gonna have to stop burning. So we got because ash is supposedly hazardous. I don't know, we all have wood stoves, but we're watched by the state, so at the transfer station, we're not at home. So, we got a price from Dirt Doctors, just for budgetary, and they said they thought they could do an entire year's worth of our stuff in 2 days, and they charge $5,000 a day.
What's wrong with our chipper?
Well, the amount we take in just never feed it. We tried that once, didn't we, John?
Some of that stuff you need a tub
Or were
grinder.
you there when we tried that, chipping it in our chipper by hand?
Oh, good God. No, chipping it by hand would work if you had somebody right there
To throw
to
it in.
unload it all in one way. You know how people throw brush.
Yeah, yes, you can't pick
I gave
it
it
out.
up after about 2 weeks.
Okay.
We thought it'd be all right, then we tried it. And someone that does tree work on the weekend, if I chip a tree, I do it as I take it apart, because you shove it up in a pile with a skidder, you can't pull it apart.
Yeah.
So, you gotta have a tub grinder, because Christmas trees, for instance, come in and they got the Christmas lights, Christmas ornaments on it, so there go your chipper knives, and they come in with a tub grinder is how they'll do it.
Okay.
So,
That'll take just about anything you throw in it.
yeah, they can take metal and stuff. You have a nail in a tree or something. They drag them out by the root balls. Somebody don't like the bush around the house, they hook a chain onto it. I actually seen someone take a strap, pull it out of the yard, drag it all the way up River Road, up Rock Road, down Merrill Road to the brush pile, behind the pickup. So that, I mean, we can discuss that. I'm not saying we got to do it this year, but trying to be proactive. I tell you every year, you know, what
No,
are you
it's
doing with
just-
your ash? Are you having it tested? Of course we are.
Yep.
And,
I was more just looking for an explanation.
Yep. And then, so the last one, hazardous waste day. Well, we discussed this last year. We ended up having 2 hazardous waste days because we couldn't get a hazardous waste day in 2018. So I had the money for 2 days. It was a great success. I thought I'd do it for 2 days every year, and then I learned that most of your cost, well, not this year, but lots of time, most of your cost is set. It's like $4,800 to set up. So I scrapped the 2-day idea because that doesn't make financial sense. And when we put this in here, I promised the taxpayers, I stood here and said, if we have it in here, we won't turn anybody away. It's in the budget. When it was a warrant article, we were strictly told $7,000, whatever warrant article was, no more. And at 10 o'clock, my guys that were working it called me. They said, Benji, we're at $8,000. I said, oh. I promised. I said, just keep me updated every hour. They called. We spent, what ain't on there, is it, Bill? What did we spend? It was 15, wasn't it?
Yeah, 14.
15,000, 14 and change this year. So,
There's one neighboring town that they do their household hazardous waste day with another town in conjunction. Does that save them any money?
I don't know. I don't know. I've talked to a different neighboring town and entertained the idea, and we will see. I don't know how that.
Yeah, I don't know if it saves them
Seems
any
like
money.
it might be more of a headache than it's worth, however, because every town's different.
Yep.
We take a lot of stuff at our facility. So your hazardous waste is really just your oil, paints, gasoline, bug sprays when you come to our facility, because we take light bulb, antifreeze is a big thing. We take light bulbs and batteries every day, smoke detectors every day. The one you're, I
Yep.
would assume, referring to, they go in conjunction with Bow, and that's when they take in their fluorescents, I think,
Yep.
and all this other stuff. We take that every day. So we're not with a transfer station that are in like with us, and I don't know if very many take as much as we do. I was going to entertain it with a different town
Just curious to see if that would reduce the cost any.
because of the setup fee, you
Yep.
know. But and what my discussion with that guy was not sharing a day, sharing 2 days to split the setup.
Yep.
Because if you're going to just have one, then we'll see.
Yep.
So I'm proposing 14,000 because we went over 14,000 this year, I guess. I guess the public like it, you know, it was closed Tuesday, we had it on a Saturday, Tuesday morning, I had phone calls wanting to know when the next one was, cause they found some more stuff, I mean, I guess it's something everybody likes, it's just super expensive, nothing to do about it. I about fell
Better than
over.
being dumped on East Ware Road.
Right, unless I gotta pick up later, so. Exactly. So that's it for transfer station, is there, and that's really where my biggest, you know, those two things is where my big jump is. Oh no, I didn't really go up on my budget, but those are big numbers to throw out there. Any questions or suggestions? We can zip through sewer real quick. I always like to tell everybody that it isn't really a taxpayer thing, although it's taxpayers that use it. The bill gets added up and split evenly amongst all the users. If you're not on town sewer, you're not paying for it anyhow. But the only changes really are, we just took the bill that we get, figured them out, you know, figured out what's gonna cost it. Is there any questions on it?
It says offset mowing electricity,
Yeah, I was just looking at that one, to be honest with you.
so we just robbed it to put it somewhere else? That what we did?
Yeah, what do we do on that, Beth?
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, if you look at supplies, he doesn't spend any in supplies, so use that to help offset the cost.
Okay, yeah. So we increased, mowing and electricity a little because my mowing went up and electricity went up. So, yeah, I got you. We decreased a little, try to offset that for the users.
How many people are on that surge?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's figured by number of units. So, like Cal's house, for instance, is 1 unit.
Right.
And like this place is a couple units. I think not John Star, I think the middle school is like 52 units.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So that's how it's, so Cal's not paying the same that the middle school's paying. They're paying same per unit.
Per
So
unit.
They're
Everybody-
paying, I think, 52 units. And I don't remember the number of units. There's a few up through the center of town, not a lot, but a few residentials.
Right.
And all the town buildings. The store. Center store. And then water, no change in water. And that's DPW 2021. I'd like to thank everyone that helped me on it. Beth and Joe always help me out with everything, and Naomi and Karen. Just a big help having help. I've done it all by myself when I was in Deering, and sometimes you get stumped and no one wants to help you. It's nice to have someone lead the blind once in a while.
Anybody else got any questions?
While he's here, do you want to talk anything about your warrant articles or no?
I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I'm just gonna dig it out here.
I am asking to get a plow truck for the highway department, a trash trailer for the transfer station. I've heard about that already. Again, you're asking for 2 things. So first of all, I said Public Works was gonna need 2 things every year, and second of all, I always ask for one, transfer station's asking for one. I'm in charge of 4 departments, so. And that's the cost of the equipment, so the quotes budgetary quotes I got.
Yep.
And then I'm asking for my annual road reconstruction money. Asking to put a little bit in the bridge fund to maintain the bridges, you know, do a little bit of work on them, hopefully preventative maintenance. I didn't bring nothing of that stuff with me, so I'm going off my hip here.
There it is. I thought we bought a Packer trailer in my tenure here.
Yeah, Tim bought one.
It's not reflected on the sheet.
No?
No. It says 2001, 2006 are the Packer trailers.
Yeah, and I think Tim replaced the 01, I'm replacing the 06, I believe.
Okay. I thought because I remember we replaced
It was
one.
Yep.
about 5 years ago.
Because you and
6
I were
years
talking
ago.
about back and forth about
Yep.
different
It'd be
spec.
more than six.
Yep,
Yeah.
It'd be about
exactly.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the one I'm replacing will be the same age as the one Tim replaced when he replaced it. It'll be, over 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. I'll have to fix that, I guess.
And the idea is go to aluminum this time?
No, why is that the picture?
It says with a new aluminum trash trailer.
Aluminum?
I mean, it's fancy. It looks really cool.
Aluminum is expensive.
Oh, no, that isn't the,
I heard you were going to polish it.
yeah, every day.
Yep.
Oh, I'll have to, it's my mistake, I guess.
It is steel, though.
Yeah,
It's steel like the other ones.
yeah,
and
I
it's
would
tri-
love to have
but it's-
aluminum or
but it's
stainless steel,
triaxle.
but
Yeah.
it's $100,000 for the steel one.
Yeah. But it's still a triaxle.
Yeah, it'll be a triaxle, all dead axles, no lift axle.
Okay.
I asked Sizemore and Jerry in New Boston. It goes, it'll go 52 times a year, so I don't think, Sizemore said just one more thing to maintain an air axle to go up and down. Push out ram. Geez, I can't believe I had that on there. And it's been a long time since I went to CIP, and that's the only picture I could find of a trailer, so probably that's why that got on there.
A few years ago, you and I discussed the possibility of hot patch versus cold patch.
Yeah,
Have you looked into that at all in terms of equipment costs?
yeah, because I had one board member that was over the top about it, and I thought I saw my opportunity to get one, and I educated myself on what them things cost. So I still got my ears open to the door to someone that's getting rid of a decent used one. They're like $30,000 brand new.
I was going to say 30 grand. I thought that was about the number.
So I went,
But
I
cold
went to
patch
Keene.
lasts how long?
Oh, no, it's good money, I think they're worth the money, I never want to shoot something that I really gotta have in the foot, such as a plow truck or trash trailer, get something that'd be nice.
Yep. Well, it's just something I know you and I talked about
I
2
went
years
and
ago.
visited City of Keene, they had more money and they were getting a brand new infrared one, they had
Yep.
2 used propane ones that they were thinking about getting rid of.
Mhm.
Told them to call me when they did, I never got a phone call, I never
No,
called them.
Hillsboro's got one, a diesel one,
Yeah, I know.
and they got that, actually, they got that cheap because it was a demo.
Yeah, if I
Well,
trip over the right deal, I don't go after looking at them every day, but I'm still interested, they're worth the money.
And how long
Because you
does,
can go get a load of hot top, dump it down back, let it get cold and hard, go chisel into it with a loader and dump it in this thing, or leave it in it actually, I think is really what you do. More experience with hot top. I went and demoed them, or watched them demo them. And you just reheat and use that hot top.
You leave it
It's not
plugged.
like you go get a 1-ton load of hot top and you ever be on your game and have all the holes cleaned, have them all prepped, because that's gotta be done before the hot top goes bad.
yep.
You just put it in there, and when you're done for the day, you let it get hard.
And how long does hot patch last versus cold patch, on average?
I don't know, when we pave a road, it lasts a long time, so.
Yep.
I've never used one, I just know hot top's better than cold patch. Cold patch is just to fix the complaint for today,
Yep.
And it's $125 a ton, I can get hot top for $65 a ton. We're getting it put in place for $70 a ton with a crew doing it, so,
Yep. And cold patch will last to the next
till the
rainstorm.
next rainstorm, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. See you later.
Now, going back, anything from the finance committee? Okay, thanks, Benji.
All right,
Thank you,
see
sir.
later.
Forest fire budget presentation is
Next
gonna be rescheduled.
What?
The box. The black box.
Yeah,
We're getting
I'm gonna
there.
wait for the manifest.
That's next.
Next item is the manifest. To order the treasurer to sign payroll and accounts payable checks dated November 25th, 2020, as included in the following manifests. Payroll manifest, $63,591.54. That's the weekly and monthly payroll. Accounts payable manifest for $76,020.27. And supplemental accounts payable manifest for $14,121.33, for a total of $153,733.14. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The next item is,
include the lawn care ones?
They did.
yeah. We're gonna pull that final one.
You guys just.
We just approved it.
We just approved it. I mean, we approved the other ones, but we can pull that one out of it, right?
We just approved the whole
You just
thing.
approved it all. That's
We
why
just
I
approved it
asked.
all.
I didn't know what the total amount was for that. Nobody knew what the... We'll see about it then. See if they live up to their part of it for the rest of the cleanup.
Cleanup should have been done by the
I
14th
know.
of November, which
Well.
was 2 weeks ago.
And it wasn't.
So we'll send them a
Well, I'm
notice.
just saying, you know, I sent an email in regards to the complaint. And then John spent the afternoon running around. And I can pass my phone around, and there's the handful that he did, there's some really,
What,
Questionable areas.
what's the final amount for that?
42, I think,
About 43,000?
4,200.
Yeah,
40
the final payment was like $4,300.
$4,300.
Just shy of.
Okay. Well,
Would you entertain a motion to
yes.
amend?
Yes.
Can I have that total?
so was it unanimous the first time?
Yep.
It was, yes.
Yeah, that'd be $4,250.
So I make a motion that we,
Amend?
well, would we amend it, or would we just hold the check?
Amend the manifest.
Gotta amend the manifest.
Make a motion, we amend the previously approved manifest
In the amount of,
What's the,
In
what was the,
Decrease it,
in the amount of,
decrease it
you
in,
have it.
decrease it in the amount of, $4,250.
and to hold the final check for
Big Dog.
Big Dog Landscaping and Services totaling $4,250 until the work has been satisfactorily completed at all the cemeteries.
by who?
Big Dog,
Right, but who's gonna deem it satisfactory? Are we gonna,
Yeah, who's
somebody gonna go
who's
around
gonna
and?
police it?
Well, I mean, I'll share that
Yep.
with John if you
Okay.
want.
I have no problem with that, yeah.
We'll go through it in the next week here, try to go through and see which ones aren't done, because
I'll send pictures to the board and then we can
I
discuss
can
that.
forward your emails to
Yep.
the entire board of the ones that you did, cause there's,
if the,
there's several of them there that,
Very obvious that there's issues.
yes,
Yep.
I think the worst ones were the Buzzell Hill, Pine
Yep.
Grove,
Yep.
and the Quaker Cemetery.
Quaker was really bad.
Quaker is very bad. Pine Grove had a lot. I know there's pine needles.
Needles
pine,
and leaves.
But at the same time, when you took this one picture on the first entrance, all of the leaves that are down there, and that whole,
Yeah, that's halfway into that same pine, that's halfway into that same cemetery.
plus there's all of these that have to be looked at.
Yep. Yeah, I just looked at the handful I could before
Yeah,
light
those are
faded.
those are the main ones. These are the smaller ones that are on the side roads. Those weren't touched.
So I can go around and grab pictures of everything and if that works for everybody.
Okay, so the final number for the manifest would then be $149,483.14.
So moved.
Seconded.
You're looking for a second, yeah. You're looking for a second.
Okay, all those in favor of that?
Aye.
Yes.
I'm gonna abstain.
And Naomi, are you going to reach out to Big Dog to let them know?
again,
Give them 2 weeks? We'll revisit it, not next week, but the week after? Because next
this week is a short week, but
next week is gonna be very
Yeah.
busy anyway, so let's revisit it, first meeting in December.
That'll work.
That's only, what, 10 days away?
Something like that, yeah. With the holiday.
Think that should be enough time? to-
thank you, Beth.
Well, it should
Might-
be done.
You
Might
too,
be
Beth.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Might
the
be
first
tight.
one would be the 7th of December,
It might be tight.
Yeah, but we're also gonna be getting snow soon at some point.
Right, no, I know it's coming, but,
So I'd say give them the 7th of December. I mean, there was some
That gives them a month after their end of their.
end of their due date. Okay, the next item on the agenda would be minutes.
You have two sets,
2 sets,
the
11,
9th and the 16th.
Okay. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes of November 9 of 2020 as written.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Next one's be the 16th. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. And page 11.
Move to approve as written.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Administrators report.
I'm gonna send down, we talked about 3 tax payment arrangements. They've been signed by the taxpayers, now the board needs to sign them. And before I get to my report, I have one thing. The cable committee has been working diligently, in an effort to make the internet connection for live streaming, kinda as well as looking at what it might be, I guess anticipating town meeting, maybe that way. So, Access AV has been working with the cable committee, and there are some things that, they would like to purchase to make this happen. The scope of work is the customer's gonna provide high-speed internet connection for streaming at the library and the cafeteria. Customer's gonna provide login credentials for streaming. Is gonna install a new rack mount products into the existing rack, dress wiring neatly, install and configure camera and streaming hardware to live stream to customer's preferred site, train users on setup and figuring items not to exceed 1.5 hours, and the inclusive of the training and the installation, you're looking at $5,014, and they'd like to take that out of the capital reserve fund for the cable equipment, because it's gonna go over to the school, the middle school, but it's also gonna have a use for us to be able to do deliberative session and their meetings so that they can live stream.
What's the speed of this new high-speed internet that they're looking to, does it specify?
Well, it's coming from Granite State, isn't it?
Yeah, but they have many options for high speed. I'm
Yeah.
just curious what
Yeah,
it's
I
actually
know.
gonna be.
Yeah.
I can send this down, it means it's kinda Greek to me.
This is sole source.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah,
say-
we can't get many more to do what we have.
Huh?
I said I would say yes, because we've had somebody here that hasn't been, I mean, we had a company that, was doing it with us, but, they've been asked to set that up for the school, and then we're kind of piggybacking on it, but the franchise money that goes into the cable equipment fund is for the town. So Access AV, I don't know if they're a sole source, but
Well, it's purchasing policy. That's all I'm getting after.
Why the library?
because that's where the school meets. The school meets in the
School
library.
library? Or our library?
No, the school library.
Okay.
The Ware Middle
I'm
School is,
picturing our library, trying to figure
the
that
Ware
one
Middle
out.
School is where the school board meets.
Okay.
So the school board is looking to do all that, but they wanna put a drop in the cafeteria because that's where we all hold deliberative session.
Yep.
I don't know about sole source, but we can try to get 2 more quotes if you wanna do it that way.
If they're not sole source, then I agree with Ricky. It's
Yeah.
purchasing policy.
Well, the other thing, you know, if they're gonna, are they piggybacking onto us, or are we piggybacking
We're
onto them?
piggybacking on them.
On them.
Because the school had already started this project of live streaming when COVID set in, because they're meeting with Zoom right now.
Yep.
They haven't even met at the library. So this project was started by the school, and we kind of piggybacked onto the cafeteria with it.
But we're supplying our own internet connection, correct?
There's internet connection over there at the school, I just don't know.
But if they're asking us,
Well,
I'd have to see
you
that.
have to read
so,
it.
yep.
Doesn't say on there. I didn't even mention the speed.
So customer must provide the high-speed internet, so that's not even on this list.
No.
This is just equipment and labor.
Nothing on there.
So is,
Question is who would be the customer? The school, where it's going into their building, or us?
My first thought tells me it's the school that's
The school should be
provided this
putting that,
internet.
because they're gonna, one's gonna get the biggest.
and is that
advantage of it.
Comcast,
I don't
or
know.
is it,
I
I
don't
don't know
think
what
so.
they use. I don't know.
not sure, do you know what they use?
No.
Don't know. All right, I'll take it back. Is all 3 of these signed?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. I'll go down through the report quickly, that's all I have. Parks and Rec will be here next week. Parks and Rec, we're gonna reconvene the meeting, the public hearing that was held on July 27th in regards to the non-resident fees. So we're gonna do that, as well as they'll be here for the budget. Tax bills went out on Friday. We all pooled together, and tax bills went out Friday. They're due December 23rd. We did have a problem with the kiosk, but it wasn't to do with us. So people weren't able to see that. It's back up running this morning, so we're all good to go there. Offices, just to tell everyone, the town office is closed on Thursday and Friday due to the Thanksgiving break. Next week, you're gonna hear from Parks, Library, the Forest Fire, and the rest of the budgets. Beth and I spent putting the rest of them together. Next week, as John already mentioned, you have a very busy week, or a very busy meeting, because you've got the rest of the budgets. You've got a public hearing. I've invited the residents in regards to the noise. So we've got a busy night. At the same time, there was some discussion about having a discussion together about what they thought about the AT&T and the FirstNet. So fairly busy on the 30th.
Should we bring a sleeping bag?
And if you want.
At least a pillow.
Yeah.
And then the buildings, we really haven't changed or done anything more on. The signs, this week is kind of an off week. There's a lot of places that are closed. There's a lot of places that are not around. The aluminum hasn't come in or didn't come in yet for the signs, so I'm waiting on the signs for both of those places. Other than that, we're winding down to 2020, closing it out. So,
Has anybody been in the old town hall recently?
what's, well, so, yeah, I don't remember what morning. I was reached, 2:20 on, I believe it was Thursday. The alarm company called at 2:20 because the building was at 40 degrees, so the freeze alarm came on.
Mm-hmm.
What we found was, I don't know, somehow it tripped on, but it wouldn't trip. It tripped off, but it wouldn't trip back on, so we flipped the breaker and it came back on. And the building's been back up, heat's on, back to being warm. Is that what you're asking?
No, I was actually asking because I was gonna see if has the furnace been serviced, which
The furnace was,
obviously.
yes, the furnace was serviced.
And do we need to
act-
winterize the building, seeing as how something tells me we're not reopening it this winter?
Well, we leave it at 60. I don't know, what are you talking about, closing it down and draining the water? Is that what you're thinking?
Kinda thinking that.
That's up to you guys. I mean,
Well, I guess that's a stupid question. Was there ever water to the second floor?
Water?
Years ago, but not now.
No.
So it's been cut off, though it hasn't been,
There's nothing, there's no water upstairs now that I'm aware of. There was a bathroom up there, there's no water in there.
No.
okay. I was just thinking how difficult it would be to do that, that's all.
To winterize?
Yeah,
I would think you just gotta drain the two bathrooms downstairs and that
And
sink.
just pour some RV antifreeze down
Yeah.
the.
the only other fear I would have is how would the plaster and everything react to the cold temperatures?
I think, in a building like that, you're better off to keep it at some type of set temperature.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, when
know-
we did the stone building over,
Yeah,
the guy that came and looked at the
Yeah.
plastic stuff, he said you should really try to maintain it, 50 degrees.
yeah. I think you'd be
That's
doing
where I'm
more
at.
building damage than saving in the
Okay.
heat department.
Okay.
Just
right
with
now, we
that
have it
older
set at
building.
60.
Keep it
I
the
can
constant.
put it at
and-
50.
Yeah.
50.
But they call it 40.
Right,
So,
that threshold will be a little, but maybe if we could put 55 maybe,
Yeah.
drop it down a little bit.
because to keep a constant environment in there, that it's,
Yeah.
if you shut it down completely, and that's when most of it will start to,
Well, I'm
you get the
thinking,
condensation from the hot and cold
I'm
coming through the
thinking
windows.
building issues will arise then.
Yep, okay.
So,
All right, so we set it at 55 and kind of check
Well,
on it
check
down
to see
there.
how it
Okay.
goes.
yeah. And as long as the freeze alarm keeps going off as
If a freeze
intended,
alarm will go off at 40, that's when they call
yeah,
me.
which is fine.
And then they call every 10 minutes from 2:20 till 6 o'clock, so.
Speaking of freeze alarm, we had, or I'd posed that, number 7, Stone Memorial Building, wait till we set our tax rate. Tax rate's been set, do we want to start discussing Stone Memorial freeze alarm again?
I would say maybe we wait a little bit longer until we find out what we get close to the end of the year.
End of
This year.
the
Are you
calendar
looking,
year?
are you looking at what might be left? Because we
Yeah.
haven't run that number yet.
Yeah, looking at what might be left at the end of the year.
Be left.
Would you like,
End of the calendar year or end of
I think it's end of
Yeah,
calendar
So
end of
year.
typically what we've done, John, in the past is we've forecasted for the next X weeks of payroll, the next X weeks of, or months of utility or heating, and kind of see what's left.
Okay.
And then from there, if there's projects that we didn't do because we were waiting for something, or, in your case, the freeze alarm we talked about.
Yep.
That's what you talk about at that point, is what you have left.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. I saw it on there, just.
No, and Beth's gonna be with me next week, because we're gonna run the rest of the budget, so we can run where we are. Because the next week's payroll is gonna be in December, because of the first part of December, so she'd have a handle on where we are for the payroll and expenses.
I think once we get that number, I think we can
Look at it again.
reflect a little more accurately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I too don't want to lose sight of that. I'd like to see a freeze alarm in there. And a fire alarm, there's a lot of.
Yeah, I don't remember what the number was on it, but
Like almost $6,000.
was it that much? Okay.
Right, which
800.
to me really isn't a whole lot to get that upfitted and talking and all that. I mean,
And
it's,
that's been talked about.
yeah.
I mean, I brought that forward back in 2006, I think, the first time.
Yeah.
Just kept getting pushed to the side.
So what I can do is when we come back next Monday, even though it'll be the 30th, we can kind of see, Beth is very good at forecasting as to what we have left.
Maybe we make that the following week, because we already got a lot of stuff next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to have the, be on December 7th?
yeah.
Okay.
December 7, yeah.
Because the goal from after, we've seen it once, you've seen it all once, we'll put it all together. If there's, Chief Moore had a few things he needed to come back on. I guess I'll have him come back on the 7th as well. And then we can put it together as a total. And then my plan is to, we're not really looking for many warrant articles. Is we could kind of put our warrant articles together, because my goal is to be done by the end of the year. I know finance is meeting again on December 2nd, and the plan at that point is to have the 3 larger departments go in, talk about their budgets. Then on the 16th, we were gonna talk about the rest of the budgets and probably the warrant articles, because we don't, as I said, have many more than what's on CIP already. Everybody did take a hold and listen to the need not want. You heard the fire department pulled 2 just in the Times. So, I think things will be pulled together fairly quickly. We've been through default, they don't need to revisit that one. So, our goal is to push and be done by the end of the year like we were last year. That's all I had.
Correspondence or other business?
Yeah, I got one thing that, we mentioned the town office was closed Thursday and Friday, and I believe the transfer station is closed Friday and Saturday this week.
Thursday, Friday.
I
Thursday,
think they're
Friday.
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday,
Friday,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
The transfer station, you're right, John. So when I made my suggestion, the transfer station is also closed on Thursday and Friday for everybody to plan accordingly.
Okay, anything else under correspondence or other business? No, I'll entertain the motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Yes.
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 Good night, happy
Good night, everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.